Thank you very much. And it's great to see all of you guys. And I can see, as you said, there's almost 200 people here in the room today. So thank you all very much for taking your time. We have an interesting couple of days and the next couple of weeks ahead of us. Just today, we made an announcement, sharing there on the different channels that we now have the next 3 pyrolysis reactors on their way from our manufacturer to our Thailand facility. These 3 machines are now the first of altogether 13 new machines that will be delivered to the Thailand facility by the end of March next year. Additionally, in another city in China, they are right now preparing to send out the next 3 machines also to our facility in Finland. So as you guys can see, our process of expansion and project development is ongoing continuously. It's going every single day. We are developing further. And actually, I'm right now here in our studio room where we just finished filming an announcement that we are going to be releasing on Friday, which is going to be very, very important and another major milestone that we are reaching together. Now, these developments are very important in many different ways. Of course, most importantly, with more machinery and more bigger facilities, we are able to recover more and more plastic waste from the environment, making a more significant impact on the well-being of our planet. But it also shows for everybody who is watching us that we are just speeding up in everything that we do. We're just getting started, and we're just gaining more and more and more momentum every month. And finally, of course, for all the members of the Amplivo network and every single holder of the CSR plastic credit in the world, this is also extremely important and very beneficial news. Because as we all know, additionally to the general public now becoming aware of plastic credits and major companies soon becoming legally obligated to use plastic credits, also from every single liter of oil that we produce, about 10% of the sales revenue will be used in our buyback program to buy back the CSR from the open markets.
Plastic.
So this is actually my main topic that I wanted to talk with you today. It's about what we can expect now happening during the next about 4 months and what we can expect to happen for the CSR plastic credit moving onwards. So additionally to what we have spoken before about international businesses and companies now becoming aware of the plastic credits, there is also an interesting development happening here in Thailand when it comes to plastic credits. So we already know that United Nations is implementing plastic credits into the new global regulations. We know that the European Union is implementing plastic credits into the regional regulations. But even here in Thailand, the Thai government is now officially recognizing the plastic credits. And what is great here, what they say on the government website, they say the following. If we look at it from all sides, we will see that the plastic credit trading system will not only help to reduce the amount of plastic waste in the environment, but also help to generate income in local communities, which is exactly what we have done, for example, with our plastic waste collection center in the Bangkok slum, where the local people and the fishermen can now earn an extra income by cleaning the environment from plastic pollution. It also says here that plastic credits will help to promote the recycling of plastic waste and provide funds to carry out activities or invent new recycling innovations. And finally, they say here that plastic credits also help consumers to have information to choose products and services that are environmentally friendly. And finally, the government says that it can be said that plastic credits are good for the environment, society, and the economy. But again, it just shows you that what we've been saying for the last years it's now becoming the official government statement. Because when we started to talk about this a couple of years ago, people were saying, I don't know if this is ever going to work. Is this really going to happen? All those questions that we were asked for. Well, now you can go to the government websites and read it yourself. But trust me when I say, guys, we have not seen anything yet.
Mais s'il vous plaît, franchement, faites-moi confiance quand je vous dis ça. En fait, nous n'avons encore rien vu à aujourd'hui.
We are going to see an explosion in the demand of plastic credits globally starting from next year. 2025 will be the year when these companies will now be legally obligated to start using the plastic credits. And what makes the CSR plastic credit so unique is that it is not only based on the demand coming from the end users, it's also built to grow in value based on every single liter of oil that we produce from plastic garbage. So what is going to happen at the end of this year, in just about 4 months' time, is that the allocation of the original CSR plastic credit will end. This means that there will, from the beginning of next year onwards, there will no longer be any new original CSRs to be distributed into the circulation. On 1st of January, we are going to calculate the total amount of allocation of all the CSR plastic credits that will ever be in circulation. And then that one number is going to be at the website as a sort of a common main number that we will all be able to see and track. This means that every single time when one company, whoever, large company or small company, they buy the CSR and they retire it, this number becomes smaller. And every time when Corsair is selling its pyrolysis oil to the companies like Shell and others, about 10% of that income will then go into the pot to buy back the CSR from the market, making the number again smaller and smaller and smaller. We sell our oil right now for approximately €1 per liter. And our target is that around 2030, we would be able to produce as much as 1 billion liters of oil per year. You can do the math yourself. If 10% of that money goes into the CSR market to buy back the tokens at any price that anybody is willing to sell. But if we only reach 10% of our target, not 100%, not the billion liters a year, but 10%, meaning about 100 million liters a year. This means that there will be approximately $1 million per month that will go into the buyback program every single month, only from the selling of the oil. In order to achieve that, we need about 9 facilities, about 9 factories around the world. Only 9. In Bangkok, we are now simultaneously building already 2. Finland will altogether have 5 in the same building. So you add those up with a few other new projects that we are about to announce, and we've already achieved that target. So what I'm trying to say here for you guys is that anybody who understands even a little bit what I'm talking about right now would hold on to their every single CSR plastic credit with their dear life. Because what we are building here right now has never, ever been built before. Not in the network marketing world, not in the oil and gas industry, and also never in the digital asset industry involving blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Because in our case, you have to remember that the actual money that is building the demand for the growth of the CSR for the future is coming outside of our community, outside of the Amplivo network, and outside of the holders of the CSR. It is coming from the biggest oil and gas companies in the world, like companies like Shell, and from some of the largest consumer brands that are now becoming involved with the CSR plastic credit as well. So this obviously is a great opportunity for everyone who is holding CSR plastic credits, because basically what is going to happen is that the value development of the CSR is almost like unstoppable. That's why I want to highlight now that these are the 4 last months that we are going to release more CSR into the circulation. And after that, it's finished, forever, done. And if you are a partner of the Amplivo network, then I can tell you that this is the most greatest, most exciting, and the most important 4 months in our business. Because let me explain you something, how the numbers work and how our business works on a week-to-week basis. The key leaders and the top leaders here, you guys know what happens every Friday of the week. Whenever we are coming to the end of a promotion of that week, for example, a campaign or a bonus or whatever it is, you see on the last day of the week, you see a huge volume of people who want to get involved at the last minute, always happening on Friday. And when we look at our weekly turnover, when I look at the numbers, I know that whatever sales we have done by the end of Thursday, we usually double the entire week's turnover on Friday alone. Now, we have already this year, we have broken all the past records of the company. We have grown by hundreds of percentages this year already compared to the last years. But I'm telling you guys, if you're an Amplivo partner, you have not seen anything yet. I believe that December of this year will be like the Friday of a 4-year promotion. Whatever sales you have done with your team before in a week, or in some cases even in a month, you are going to be doing that in a day at the last days of December. Because first of all, we have a number of very important big and major announcements that we are still going to be making during this year. With every one of those announcements, with every development step that we do, our business just becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And all types of arguments or questions from people that are doubting us, those are becoming weaker and weaker and weaker. So when we get to the end of this year, I'm telling you guys, it is going to be crazy, but it's going to be also extremely fun. But I want you guys to start getting ready for it. Here in Bangkok, we are putting together like a headquarter room where we have all the support staff and IT and everybody sitting together, making sure that we'll be able to manage that, because it's going to be a madness. When people who have maybe heard about us before now realize that, wait a minute, this is coming to an end. The original CSR will stop its allocations, and that's all that will ever be there. And this is your last few days to either be in or be out. Of course, everybody has the opportunity to join later by buying the CSR from the exchanges, but there will no longer be any kind of bonuses. There will not be any kind of discounts, nothing. But don't be concerned, because on the 1st of January, we are obviously going to launch the CSR 25.
Mais surtout, vous ne vous sentez pas concerné comme quoi il n'y aura plus rien. Non, non, parce qu'au 1er janvier 2025, nous allons lancer le CSR 25.
CSR 25 will have a great opportunity as well, but it will not be connected, for example, to the oil sales, which means that it will have a very, very different growth future when we look at the long-term development in value. So the original CSR is like gold. And the CSR 25, 26, 27, that's your silver, your bronze, and all the other valuable metals that you can think of. But there will only be one gold. And therefore, it is quite saddening when sometimes we see people who want to sell their CSR for 1 or 2 cents. No problem, we keep on buying. So this is, I think, something that I wanted to make sure that everybody has freshly in their minds today about what are we going to expect from the next 4 months and why this is so important timeline in our business. And I know that there are many Amplivo partners there in your team and other parts of the world that have seen their personal income grow significantly during this year to a very sizable amounts. But what's going to happen in the next months and in the next couple of years, it's going to be life-changing. Because keep in mind that, again, we are just getting started. This is like scratching the surface. We have not even started yet. But the future that I see is that the CSR will grow to become extremely valuable asset. And that will be the reward for all of you guys, for all of you pioneers, the first people who saw the opportunity and most of all took action. This will be a reward for all of the people around the world who took action as the pioneers and the first users of the CSR. Because, as said before, so many times, nobody has done this before. And if it wasn't for you guys, there wouldn't be the factories, there wouldn't be all the developments that we're doing right now in the operational area. You know, about 1 month ago, I went to an international convention of plastic recycling companies. And when we were there, we were listening to the speeches and exchanging information and talking to the other operators. The only thing that we at Corsair could think about is that what are these guys doing? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that there is no other company in the world in the field of plastic chemical recycling that is growing faster than we are. They are not even coming close. It's weird because we are working in so many different areas. We're busy every day. We can hardly keep up with the speed ourselves. And then we look at the other companies and I don't know what they're doing. They're still planning and thinking what they may be gonna do in 1 or 2 years. And that's the reason why our table was visited by every single major oil and gas company, major petrochemical company in the world. And they all want to work with us. But I can tell you, it wasn't like this a couple of years ago. You know how many times I have been asked by experts, so to say, they have asked me the question, why are you connecting network marketing into this business? And what I've always explained to them is that the Amplivo network is the superpower of Corsair Group. It's because you guys are the superheroes. And because of that, we are together today where we are. And now the people who were asking the question are starting to look into it. And they are saying to me, they're saying, Jay, I still don't understand what you guys are really doing, but whatever you're doing is working. So what I want to say to you guys by explaining all of this is that we are in the very beginning of this long, very exciting and fun journey. And we are now getting closer to the last remaining days of our 4-year first large campaign. And I'm telling you, it is going to get crazy, so get ready. And after that, at the end of every single year, when we come to the end of the allocation of CSR 25, end of the allocation of CSR 26, 27, 28, it's going to go all over again and again and again. But in the background, the original CSR is going to continue to grow in value year after year, decade after decade. So I hope I'm very clear on my message to you guys today, just a little bit of what you can expect to happen in the next couple of months. And I would be very happy, Jean-Luc, if you had prepared some questions that you wanted to go through, or if we are good for tonight, however is best for you. Thank you.
What is the importance of the Amplivo network in the whole system?
Yeah, I think we answered that one pretty clearly already. But yeah, it is the biggest asset that we have in the group. And I'm only waiting when one of the other companies is going to start to try to copy and imitate what we are doing. But good luck.
Bonne chance. Bonne chance.
En fait,
you cannot. That's the point, because what we have is a community, and we have a community that has been built organically. Even if you went out and you hired 100 salespeople or 1,000 salespeople, you will not be able to create the community and the commitment and the passion that we have within the Amplivo network. But that's also the reason why the growth takes time. You cannot build organically something from 1 to 100 overnight. You have to build it over months and weeks and years to become really solid and strong. And that is truly the beauty of the Amplivo network, when it's all built on relationships and the same goal of, first of all, cleaning our planet from the plastic pollution and changing the financial life of every single person who are part of the group of pioneers and the first initiators. And you can ask yourself the question, who else do you know who has done more good for the environment than you and your team? That's the thing. So because of the fact that we are here truly saving our planet, that is also why we deserve every single good thing that comes to our life as a result of that. I think we've said enough for today. So I want to say truly thank you for each and every one of you for taking the time and joining us on this call today. I really appreciate your time, and I respect the fact that you've taken the time on your Wednesday evening to join us here.